welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So today on the episode, our time has arrived to put in the plants. So if that's something that interests you, stick around.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so this has been kind of a longer series. This is the fourth part, and I just jumped back into the garden because some of our dear family friends, the Jacobsons, stopped by, and we stopped what we were doing. I stopped what I was doing to visit. Pretty story about the Jacobsons. The matriarch, Miss Pam of the Jacobsons, actually, her and her husband were in the service with my grandma and grandpa, which is who Ormsby Farm is named after. So for them to come and see Ormsby Farm after knowing my grandmother and knowing my grandfather, it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. So I want to say first, hey y'all, hey. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the garden. So now that we have all of the different trellises up, what I'm going to do besides the first thing, which is plan out which row is what, I have a drawing kind of drawn out, but I wanted to kind of switch it up because of having to move the trellises in 3 feet because of the water line. But this full one that me and Tara had pulled up, I'm going to be doing the Chinese noodle beans on this. So my friend Glenda over at Grace and Fire sent me these seeds. She told them they were some of her favorites. So I'm so excited. So I'm going to be planting those. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spray paint a dot on every inches for the plants. And I'm going to be a rebel and I'm going to plant them closer together. Don't come for me in them comments, but I'm going to do a spray paint dot everywhere. I'm going to burn the holes to put the plants in. Now, the green beans, the squash, the cucumbers are all direct sowed from seed. All of that I'm going to do about 1 inch deep, and all of them will trellis up. Green beans are the bush variety, and they're going to go up front with no trellises along with the eggplants. Now the eggplants that I had last year did not get that tall, they just got bushier. So I'm going to do them without a trellis too, because we only had enough for 10 rows of trellising. Now when you're doing plants, when you're planting plants, the rule of thumb is really 18 inches for like the pepper and the tomato plants. But this is a lot smaller right here than planned, and I have a lot of plants, so we may do it a little bit closer, like 10 inches, every 10 inches. So again, don't come for me. I know they're really close, but that's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark down all of the spots, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the exciting tool we have to burn the hole. So I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, so now that I've kind of set where I'm going to do the tomatoes, I'm going to show you, I'm not all the way in the camera, but I'm going to show you what I do. Now, one thing to know is anything that I use in the video that you may want, there's always affiliate links down in the description box. So once I've marked, one thing that I learned actually from Living Traditions Homestead is about this butane torch. And what you're going to do is you're going to fire it up and burn the hole. And just burn the hole around it to how big you want it. Right there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out. Oh, y'all can't see it. Great. I'm going to dig out what I want. And y'all know the soil has been tilled and fertilized thanks to my soil testing. We got our stuff. And I am going to be using stuff from our good friends over at Kelzyme as well. But now that I have it, this is a cherry tomato. Now these 2 rows are going to be slicers. But I like to, at some of the rows, put cherry tomatoes, because then any squirrels and ones, they can nibble on the cherry tomatoes and not my other ones. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a little handful of rabbit manure. Don't try this at home, kids. Didn't have scissors. Well, I'll show you here on the bag. Let's see. So it's freeze-dried rabbit manure. And what I'm going to do is I'm really just going to put a handful at the bottom and then plant my plant. And again, I also saw that from Sarah and Kevin over at Living Traditions Homestead. Not much, just a handful like this. It gives it a good little boost for them to start. Carefully, you want to take it out of your container. Look at those pretty roots, y'all. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to put it in and cover it back up. Another thing that I love to do also is I like to put the tomato plants a little bit deeper because they're just going to grow stems from where you put roots, excuse me, from where you put it anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything planted, and then we're going to jump back and I'll take you on a little tour. Alrighty, my first row that is not trellised is eggplants. They're a Black Beauty, which is the variety. We absolutely love us some eggplant. So I have 6 plants over here. They did really well for germination and stuff. And then the next 2 rows, not much to show yet, but they're Contender Green Bean, which is a bush variety. And then this one is 6 plants of the bush cucumber. So it doesn't trellis, it bushes. And if it does get really tall, I have tomato cages that I can put on them. Not really much to see on these. This row is kind of exciting. And excuse the little bootleg thing here. I don't know what lady did before she took off, but we're just gonna make it work. But this one is 3 squash, 3 zucchini, 2 candy roasters, which my friend over at 5 Dog Farm, Nikki, gave to me. I love me some Nikki, and Nikki, I'm so excited. Those are the 2 right there. And this last one down here was a Crespo squash that I got in the seed swap that I did with Christina from Hilltop Gardens. So this is my little squash rows. This one right here is all Contender. No, not Contender. Sorry, Casey. Can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. But they are a slicing cucumber. Not much to see. And all these look a little sad right now because they needed water. But I just watered them. But these are my spicy Al. So I have 3 jalapenos. I have a Creole de Cochino that I got from the seed swap. I have 4 serranos and 1 habanero from the seed swap at the end. And here I have my 2 rows of my bell peppers. I have 2 rows of the Roma tomatoes. 2 rows of slicer tomatoes. And 1 row of the Chinese noodle beans from my friend Glinda over at Grace and Fire. So, that's the garden. Oh, and a random rosemary plant. Because I didn't know where to put them, so I was like, okay, I'll put them here now. Well, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this 4-part series of me putting the garden in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you follow us more to see what comes out of this garden. I'm excited. I feel so blessed to have gotten this property, and me and the family, we are just so excited to grow and can and freeze and dice and slice and rice everything that we can to get ready for the winter. So y'all, thank you for tuning into this video. Make sure you're giving it a thumbs up and you go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know that anytime that new content drops to our channel. Follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Ormsby Farm. That is where you're going to see day-by-day pictures of this. And until next video, thanks for stopping by the garden with me. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.